In the building industry, there are two different ways of developing a project. The most common, well known method is design, bid, build. That's what most people think of when you're thinking of working out project details. A method that is growing in popularity in the United States is design build. We here at McLennan have adopted the design build approach. So when people are looking at gathering information for their project, the method that most people think of is the design bid build method. The way that design bid build started was geared towards larger projects for large scale commercial, larger residential projects where the customer works with an architect, engineer, or designer to flesh out all of the details. They do all of the shopping. They have all of the materials specified out. And then they hand that packet of information to somebody and they say, get me a price on it. Or they hand that packet of information out to 5, 10 different contractors. Get me the best price you can. Now, each of those contractors is competing based on price to land the project to do the work. Who are you going to pick? It's a best guess because you were not working with that contractor to flesh out the project details. And because you were not working with the contractor, it's whisper down the lane. You worked with the architect, engineer, and designer. Now that went through you back to the contractor, and that contractor is trying to interpret everything that was said in the cheapest way possible to win the work. Scaling that same model back to smaller residential projects, kitchens, bathrooms, basements, whole house renovations. Most homeowners that want to go that approach have not fleshed out all of the details specific. And when you don't have all of those details fleshed out specifically, all of that design, selections, and everything else is in the background. And you're looking at just the number and the contractor to try to make a decision on who to move forward with, and you haven't fleshed any of that stuff out. With the design build method, yes, numbers are important, but what's more important than the numbers is hitting the target. And if you cannot hit the target, the numbers don't mean anything. If you get the right number and you have a miserable experience or end up with a project that you didn't want or the quality of products that you didn't want in your home, what's it matter? You've just absolutely wasted your money. So the most important thing is getting the details right and then basing the contract price on those numbers. A little analogy that I've given for the comparison between design build and design bid build is this. You're looking for a blue collared, double stitched cotton shirt, but you can't get it yourself. So you're going to contact 3 to 5 individuals and they're going to go out and get the shirt for you. Come back. So you give them the best description you can. Describe that shirt to a T, they all go by. They come back, they have a little white box with a number in front of it. Now you have to decide who you're going to use based on the number in front of the box and the description you gave them. The box doesn't get opened until you sign the contract. The problem is that you don't know where they went shopping. You don't know what's in the box, the quality of what's in the box. Did they get everything you wanted? Yeah, everybody's trying their best, but did they understand what you wanted? So you make the best decision you can, you give them your money, they open the box and that's a small, I wanted a large, or it just doesn't feel right, or whatever it is, change order. The price changes. By the time you're done with that process, it can be very frustrating, and the number is very different than it was starting off. Would you have made the same decision on who to use? You don't know because you don't know what was in the other boxes either. So the whole experience can be very disheartening for people. That would be the design bid build model. Making a decision based on the number and figuring everything else out later. Design build takes a slightly different approach. So you contact different contractors to give you a price for what that shirt's going to cost. Yet one of those people says, I can't give you a number until I know what you want to put in the box. You gave me a description. I have that description really clear. But the design build contractor is going to say, you know what? I'm happy to go shopping for you, but let's work together on this. Before you commit to using me, let's go together. Let's go shopping. Let's pick the items that are going into the box. Let's talk about the cost of the items that are going into the box. So you know exactly what's in the box. And as those items go into the box, we can talk about the cost. So now when you line everybody up, you've got numbers, but you actually know what's in one of those boxes. Design build says, you know what? You need that relationship. You need that one-on-one interaction to flesh out the details of your project to come up with a true and accurate number. And there's no way to compare that to what other people have. It's a completely different experience. And you cannot take this box and hand it to somebody else and say, get me a number on it. Because again, you have no idea where they're going to go shopping. Design bid build says numbers are the most important thing. Let's figure that out. And then, oh, that's all you figured for the project? Well, no, that's not what I want. And by the time you get all the way through the process, the number's completely different than when you started. Would you have made the same decision? Likely not. Design build, on the other hand, says, you know what? I can't tell you what your project's going to cost until we work together to work out all of these details and this information. So at what points in time would design bid build be right? Big projects, commercial projects. You're doing a multi-million-dollar renovation, and you're gonna, as the homeowner, work directly with the architect, engineer, somebody else. So if you fall in one of those groups, maybe design bid build is right. If you're wanting that relationship, if you value schedule, if you value knowing what's going on, maybe you are doing a multi-million-dollar project, but you want that relationship with the person who's going to be doing the work to know that everything is perfect. Design build. Because you don't get that level of relationship if everything is flowing through a pipeline backwards and back and forth through you. Too much whisper down the lane with design bid build. Design build, you've got a straight shot to the person who is ultimately in charge of the design, the project, the detail management, and everything else that goes along with it.